All right, students, I'm going to teach you how to solve two-step equations. They're called two-step equations because usually you take 2 steps. And it's all about inverse operations. Inverse of addition is subtraction, inverse of multiplication is division, and we're going to use these inverse operations to undo what's happening and uncover what the value of x needs to be. Now we're asked to solve the equation, and to solve means what is the value of x? So when you multiply by 4 and you add 6, you arrive at 22. Now we could guess. We could say, well, x could be 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 6 is 10. Okay, that didn't get me to my target of 22. But instead of guessing over and over, we can go through this process of undoing the operations. So when we see addition, we would use subtraction. And what this does is it gets these two operations to cancel out. What I have is 4x. That 6 minus 6 is 0. But I have to do the same thing on both sides of the equal sign to maintain the balance. So the left side is equal to the right side. And 22 minus 6, that is 16. Finally, what I would do is I would divide both sides by 4 because I'm multiplying 4 times my variable. Since that's multiplication, I divide by 4. These would cancel, and I have to divide this by 4, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. And that works. 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 plus 6 is 22, and that's my target. So this is the solution. Okay, we're going to try this one. Now, I'm going to get rid of this subtracting 2 by adding 2. Again, the inverse of the inverse of subtracting is adding. So I'm going to add 2. And I have negative 5x. These cancel each other out. Negative 17 plus 2. Now these are different signs. Just like these were different signs here. 22 minus 6. Positive 22, negative 6. You subtract them when the signs are different. And we had more positives than negatives. So that ended up being a positive 16. Same idea here. Different signs. You have to subtract them. And we have more negatives than positives. So the answers to this part is going to be negative. And then we divide. Since we're multiplying by negative 5, we are going to divide by negative 5. These will cancel. Just like these canceled here. If you multiply by 4 and divide by 4, you didn't do anything. You just stayed where you are. Well, here we're multiplying by negative 5 and we're divided by negative 5. We're staying where we are here. And if I did this here, then on the other side of the equal sign, I also have to divide by negative 5. Okay, we will remember the Zerrer triangle, and this is division. So negative divided by negative, okay, negative divided by negative is positive. So this is going to be a positive. I won't write the positive. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. X is 3. That is the solution. Okay, next, this one. We have negative 3x plus 4. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to subtract 4 right here. Inverse operations. I have negative 3x. These cancel each other out. Negative 2 minus 4. Now these are the same sign. And when they are the same sign, you're going to add them together. And it's still negative. All right. We have negative 3 times x. We're going to divide by negative 3. These cancel each other out. And negative 6 divided by negative 3. Well, over here, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this is going to be positive. I won't write the positive sign, but 6 divided by 3 is 2. And there's our solution to the two-step equation. All right, I got a couple more now. Ah, look at this. That looks like a fraction, and it is. And you might be thinking, oh, that's more difficult, but it's not. Watch this. We have the inverse of adding 3. We'll subtract 3 to both sides of the equal sign. These cancel each other out. X divided by 4. So some number divided by 4 equals 5 minus 3. Well, they're different signs. Okay, you might see that 5 minus 3 is 2. Yeah, that's fine. But we could also recognize that 5 and 3 are different signs. That's positive and this is negative. And when they're different signs, we have to subtract them. Okay, we did. And there's more positives than negatives, so that part of the answer is positive. Now, this is division. And the inverse of division is multiplication. So I'm simply going to multiply 4 times 2, and that's going to be my answer. I'll often circle these two like this, and x equals 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay, here's our final one. And first, we have to subtract 6 from both sides. Inverse operations. And these cancel. X divided by negative 3 equals 9 minus 6. That's 3. And just like I did here, I multiply the 2. I'm going to multiply these two because that's division, and the inverse of division is multiplication. So I got that, and x is equal to 3 times 3 is 9, and a negative times a positive. Well, I could do this, multiplying with the Zerrer triangle, negative times positive is a negative. So this is going to be a negative 9. And those are the basics behind solving two-step equations. Thanks for watching.